Shirts off the cuff. Nah, I am Joe the Shirt. This is Joe the Shirts off the cuff, and that was. Let me see if I can read this correctly. Musica Manovella and their song La Scorpione Ubriaco. I have no fucking idea what that means, and it really doesn't matter. It's introduction music. It's a bunch of free stuff that I get on this station, you know, and I use it. Welcome to Joe the Shirts off the cuff Thanksgiving show. I know it's a couple of days before Thanksgiving, but let's be honest. On Thanksgiving Day, nobody's going to listen. The day before Thanksgiving, nobody's going to listen. Odds are right now, nobody's listening. But I want to do a show anyway. Want to do a show, you know, to talk about all things that I'm thankful for. Let's go through the list. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I am thankful for a lot of things, but just to let you all know, Thanksgiving is not my favorite holiday. Actually, among the major holidays, it is my least favorite holiday. I think it is stupid, really. I think it's just a stupid fucking holiday. I especially because when it comes to Thanksgiving, one of the first things that people always talk about is you're thanking for all the great stuff in your life. And you know, we used to do this bullshit in my family in New York, you know, Thanksgiving, and be thankful. And I'm like, what are we being thankful for? There's 16 of us living in a one-bedroom apartment in the Bronx. What the fuck am I thankful for? My mother would always like tell me, it was like, well, there are people in Ethiopia that have it better, that don't have as good as you do. And I'm like, well, let's switch places. I don't give a shit. Let's go. That's the same bullshit she pulled on me when anytime she'd try to get me to eat liver. She'd be like, you know, Joseph, there are people all over Ethiopia that would love to eat this. I'm like, well, fucking give it to them. I don't care. I don't want to eat it. Obviously, I wasn't starving, but you know what? Trying to explain this to a 6-year-old is never, ever going to work. So, no. Also, for what, despite the fact that it is a very American holiday, it's a very American government holiday. Who the hell are we thanking exactly? We're thanking, well, there's a reason we all bend up, you know, bow our heads and hold our hands or hold hands with each other. We're thanking God, and no thank you, I'm not going to do that. Fuck him. So yeah, not going to do that. I don't pray before I eat. I think it's creepy when people pray before they eat. I've seen people do it at like McDonald's, and it creeps me out to no fucking bitter end. So I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's really some really fucked up child-based guilt trip that your parents put you in, that if you're a full-grown adult and you still pray before you eat, you have issues that you are not addressing. And you probably have a secret cubbyhole in your basement with stray teenagers. In any case, no, not my favorite holiday in any way, shape, or form. I mean, do I have a lot to be thankful for than, say, the average person in, say, India, Ethiopia, Senegal, most of South America? Yes, I do. Yes, I'm a lot better off in a lot of ways. As Sam Kinison once said, people from other countries dream about being homeless in America. You know, just nothing but gigantic trash bins full of food other people threw away. But that is not me. Because that's not where I am. But I do have some things to be thankful for. I'm thankful this year for Fiona Apple. Besides the fact that I think Fiona Apple is a posturing skinny cunt, I'm very thankful for the fact that, you know, every year for the longest time, she would answer phones or actually call people and ask them to not eat turkey. Because she is, I believe, a vegetarian or vegan or what have you, whatever skinny bitch things she is. And ask them, you know, to not eat these noble birds. They're not noble. They're turkeys. They're edible. And they're delicious and go great with cranberry sauce and stuffing. But she would go out of her way to just, you know, tell everybody, you know, don't eat turkey, don't eat turkey, don't eat turkey, don't eat turkey. Eat a grape, cunt. But what I'm grateful for Fiona Apple this year is apparently she had a tour that she was supposed to go on in South America that she canceled because her dog Janet is dying. Janet the pit bull apparently has some unknown bizarre disease, and she's known about it for quite a while. And Janet is dying, and that's a horrible thing. And I know this. I've owned pets. I've had pets. I have a dog, you know. But if I was a singer and I had tour dates, and people, and I was, and you know, I had to decide, you know, I can either stay at home with my dog or go on my tour dates, I'd probably go on the tour dates. That sounds a little cold-blooded. I know what you're thinking there, but what you have to remember is that no matter what you think about your dog, it's still a dog. And I am, you know, if Fiona Apple said, I'm going home to be with my daughter or my mother or my dad or my brother, great. But you're canceling your entire South American tour because you want to be home with your dog. Here's a quote for you. Quote, this is Fiona Apple now. Sometimes it takes me 20 minutes to pick which socks to wear before I go to sleep. But this decision is instant. How the fuck does it take you 20 minutes to figure out what socks you're going to wear? Well, shit, I mean, you knew your dog was dying. You couldn't have, like, figured this out before? I mean, at least be like Billy Joe from Green Day. You know, you have a fucking drug-addicted meltdown before you cancel all your tours. Don't go off and tell me I'm canceling my tour because I want to be home so I can sing my dog to sleep and bake her tilapia. That's what Fiona Apple is doing. She's canceling all her tours in South America so she can be at home with her dog every night and sing her to sleep and bake her tilapia. While you're baking your dog tilapia is really beyond me. Oh, my girlfriend doesn't even like tilapia. She's a human. Don't give your dog tilapia. So for this one, I'm saying thank you, Fiona Apple, to proving that people are stupider, well, than dogs. Now, over the years, I've been to quite a few Thanksgiving holiday dinners. They never turn out well, like, ever. I mean, the only Thanksgiving dinners that have ever turned out well are the ones that I was with either myself or my one and only loved one. As soon as you add another person, it's over. It's fucked up. There's going to be too much drinking, drunk driving, a fight. Someone's going to bring up some old shit from like 30 years ago or last week. And I was in Palmdale not that long ago with my girlfriend, where one kid was best friends with the kid of the people whose houses we were in, starts kicking the refrigerator because he's angry, I think because he thought that his best friend was fucking his girlfriend, or I'm not even sure what the hell it was, but there he is in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner with like a good 15, 16 people around him, just kicking the refrigerator. And I couldn't believe, I actually stepped in. I was just yelling at this kid. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, well, he starts trying to explain himself. Well, he and my girlfriend, and I'm like, what does that have to do with this man's refrigerator that you're kicking? You know, it was ridiculous. I I remember going to another ex-girlfriend's Thanksgiving dinner, where after dinner, all the women were like, "We're gonna go shopping. Joe, would you like to go shopping with us, or would you like to go with all the men hunting?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go to the mall." I did not want to be the one Puerto Rican with like 12 white guys with guns in the woods, and I didn't have one. So no, I wasn't going hunting. I completely pussed out. I went with the women, and I went to the mall. I went shopping and had Cinnabon. Fuck it, I don't care. I don't like Thanksgiving. It's not a big deal. My girlfriend, we weren't even gonna have Thanksgiving dinner this year. We were gonna be home and do our own thing. And we were gonna have vegetable lasagna, and just we're gonna have vegetable lasagna and drink and sort my comic books. That was the plan. We were gonna catalog my comic books, and see about possibly insuring them in case I die. She can collect on them. That's the plan. Or if the house burns on fire, we can collect on the comic books. One or the other. We're going to work that out. But that was the plan. But my favorite stepchild, Craig the Reiteicher, he calls me just like he does every year and wants to know, "So what are you guys doing this year?" And I was like, and no matter what I say, it's always, "Well, can I come over?" And we're like, and like I said, we've adopted the guy. He's one of my best friends, and I love him dearly. And I asked my girlfriend, I was like, "Well, is it okay if he comes over?" And then we started thinking, well, it's just stupid to have somebody over on Thanksgiving and not have food. So then we put together this whole fucking menu. We're doing a Spix Thanksgiving this year. Instead of turkey, the whole oven roasted turkey, we're doing arroz con pavo. We're doing Spanish style rice. We chopped up that fucking turkey, and we are gonna cook it Rican style in a big ass gigantic pot, and everybody who doesn't like it can take their ass over to Norm's or Denny's and eat there. We're having sofrito. I'm making tostones. You know what? If Aron Sanchez shows up at this house, I won't be surprised. Fuck that noise. But yeah, that is the plan right now. That we're doing a Spix Thanksgiving. Spixgiving. Let's call it that. Why not? And with very non-traditional recipes. We're making stuffing with chorizo. We're making mashed potatoes. That's probably the most traditional thing we're making. That was a last-minute addition because I thought to myself, I need mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. I need enough starch to put me to sleep while watching football, which I don't really care for other than for gambling purposes. We're making, instead of green bean casserole, we're making a green and black bean casserole with corn, roasted corn, biscuit, which should be delicious and probably fattening, which I look forward to. Let's see, what else are we making? There's not too much more else, I don't think. No, I think that's really it. But yeah, that we're making a Spixgiving. And like I said, if gigantic white boys that come by the house with 3/4 of a six-pack don't like it, they can take their asses to IHOP. Don't care. So that is the plan for right now. And for right now, the next plan is to take a little bit of a musical break. Next, we're going to play Angry Machine by the Fresh Body Shop. I'm Joe the Shirt, I'm Off the Cuff, and this is your very own special Thanksgiving episode.
Cause
Off the cuff, special Thanksgiving Day episode. I'm thankful. Are you thankful? I'm sorry. Not my favorite holiday. I don't hate it. I'm going to say that I don't hate Thanksgiving because there have been many times that I've been a Thanksgiving orphan, and it's a shitty feeling. I'll be the first one to tell you. That's the main reason that we decided to have Thanksgiving dinner this year and invite my buddy Craig and my buddy Kaway over because being a Thanksgiving orphan sucks balls and not in the fun way. You know, everybody else is with family and friends or people they barely know, and you know, you want to be somewhere, you know, and being by yourself over at IHOP sucks. But let's talk about yet another reason I have to be thankful. I am thankful for Kevin Clash. Anybody know who Kevin Clash is? Anybody at all? Come on, raise your hand if you know who Kevin Clash is. Well, you've known about Kevin Clash for the last 28 years. You know Kevin Clash very well. You know him as the voice of Elmo on Sesame Street. And all his little toy products and all his little clothing products, Tickle Me Elmo and all that bullshit. You know Kevin Clash. You may never have seen him. A lot of you would have been surprised to find out that he's black. Especially the Klan members out there. Sorry, black. But I am thankful for Kevin Clash because Kevin Clash has recently resigned from Sesame Street because a 24-year-old college student, one Cecil Singleton, says that Kevin Clash and him had sex when he was only 15 years old. He's saying that Kevin Clash, Elmo, is a child molester. Yay! Yes, I'm thankful for Kevin Clash and Cecil Singleton. According to Cecil, he and Kevin met quite many years ago, about 9 or 10 years ago, on a gay chat room where Kevin was allegedly known for trolling for young boys to have sex with. Allegedly, the relationship lasted 2 weeks, wherein Cecil and Kevin engaged. Now, this is the funny part to me. Either they were engaging in sex or sexual conduct not involving penetration. Either way, you're doing it with a minor, so it counts. And then some years later, Cecil does a name search of the name Kevin Clash and finds out, oh my God, this guy's Elmo. He's been Elmo for all these years. He was Elmo when he was doing Cecil. Cecil and Elmo sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S. No, anyway. So now Cecil, I'm gonna use this term, two terms actually, is extorting and blackmailing Kevin for $5 million. He calls it suing him for, you know, his violation of him, for his the horrors he suffered at the hands of Kevin Clash. I'm like, well, you were 15 years old or 16 years old, yeah, 15 actually, and you were on a gay chat site, and you knew what was going on there, and then you had whatever you did with this guy. It wasn't until years later when you found out that this guy is Elmo, most likely the most popular Muppet ever, that you decided, you know what, he violated me. About $5 million worth of violated me. And he's going after him. Now, that was well and good, you know, big time celebrities like this expect this kind of thing to happen every now and again. Ask anybody in Hollywood. But then there was a second allegation not that long ago, November 12th. A man in his 20s, they're not letting his name out, claims that he had sex with Clash when he was also 16 years old. Uh, and why did he decide to finally open up and tell the truth about the horrors of his past? Because this other guy did, and he figured he could make money on it. That's why. Um, okay, I'll say this for Kevin. Kevin, it's not all right to have sex with underage boys. 15, no. 16, no. 17, yes, in New York, it's okay. But, you know, it doesn't matter that the boys themselves are homosexual. Just like, you know, it doesn't matter that the average girl is heterosexual. I still am not allowed to have sex with 15-year-old girls. It's against the law. But these guys, I don't get the impression that they're coming after Kevin because they want justice, that they want the right thing. I think they want $5 million. Either way, I'm still happy to listen to celebrities fuck up. Even though I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm almost on Kevin's side on this. Almost. It's still wrong to have sex with an underage kid, regardless of the situation. You're the adult. You're supposed to make the adult decision. You know, though, you know, I'll be the first one to tell you, though, there have been plenty of times where I've met girls that were underage that looked to be, you know, over 18 years old, over 21 years old, over 25 years old. And you know what? When you're at a club or at a bar, you're not asking for ID. Okay? When you meet guys online, as, you know, not speaking as a gay man, but I've known quite a few gay men in my time, and when they meet each other online and they go, so how old are you? And they say, I'm 23. When you get to their house or they get to your house, you're not asking for ID. You're getting dick. You know, that was the deal. But still, I am thankful. Now, we have some time left, some time to be thankful for other things. Can't say exactly what they are. Let's see, what's my earliest Thanksgiving memory? What am I going for here? Nope, can't think of a single really pleasant Thanksgiving memory. Nothing that really stands out. I mean, there were Thanksgivings that weren't bad, but that doesn't make it a good memory. I'm sorry, all the times that I've known people that have just gotten into fights, and it's like just drunk driving, and people hashing out their ugliness around the holidays. I mean, look at all the Thanksgiving movies out there. None of them are really happy-go-lucky. It's always a tragedy. It's always a comic tragedy, but it's a tragedy. And a lot of times people die at the end. Usually the fat old white guy. No problems with that, though. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. I know that a lot of my friends are leaving town. LA is a weird place for Thanksgiving because nobody comes to LA for Thanksgiving. They all leave LA for Thanksgiving because we're a city of imports. Nobody is actually from here. I can't think of a single person I know or associate with that is actually from Los Angeles. No, she doesn't count. My girlfriend just mouthed off the name of a friend of hers, but she doesn't live in Los Angeles. Was she born in Los Angeles County? How about Los Angeles, the city? Then no, she doesn't count. When I say Los Angeles, I don't mean Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County is gigantic. I'm talking about LA, the city LA, Hollywood, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Venice, even though they're allegedly separate cities within a city. And then we have counties within a county that's also known as Los Angeles County. But people in LA, in Hollywood, in North Hollywood, Burbank, generally they're not from here. They leave, which is why come Thanksgiving morning, this place is a ghost town. I have driven on Thanksgiving morning and Christmas morning down Sunset Boulevard doing 60 because there's nobody there. Mind you, a lot of popo. The police are all out there, but all the times I've been driving drunk and speeding, they've never been around. Knock on wood. Not that I do that anymore, because that's just silly. Not that I'm worried about killing myself or others, I just don't want to spend the night in a tank. That's just wrong. Anything you'd like to add? No? Okay. Now, one of the things I've always found fascinating is that Thanksgiving dinners, while the traditional aspect of it is turkey, stuffing, cranberries, potatoes, yams, pies, and all the other good shit in between, a lot of people eschew the traditional Thanksgiving dinner, much like Chandler on Friends. I know, there's a reference. My girlfriend's mother did not eat turkey. Not a big fan of turkey. Even my own girlfriend's not a big fan of turkey. So every Thanksgiving, what would she do? She'd have crab. Is that king crab? Sturgeon?
Stone crab.
There you go. So it was crab. And watching my girlfriend's 67-year-old mother go through a crab like Madison and Splash was impressive. That crazy old bitch just ripped it apart. I mean, we would go to restaurants, casinos, where she would be ordering lobster and there'd be waiters offering her, like, you know, claw hammers and crackers, and she'd be like, nah, and she'd just rip those fuckers right open. Like she was Aquaman on a binge. She was just nuts. My family, you know, we're Puerto Rican, so we didn't do the whole pavo, also known as turkey to you gringos out there, all that much. We usually did the pollo. We did chicken. We did it. You know what? We all got together and we had a really big, ridiculous meal that involved a bunch of Puerto Rican food that none of you would understand if you looked at it. But I don't know. Are there any other weird foods that people eat? I know that some people don't eat certain foods at all. I've known people that will just go, that, like my friend Koei, he's a vegetarian. And he might be coming here Thanksgiving, he might be going to another friend's house, and I'm wondering to myself, what the fuck is he going to eat? I mean, he's like, here, have some potatoes. Okay, you're done. Any case, you guys have yourselves a happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful if you wanna. Don't do it for any other reason if you don't feel like it. I'm gonna be thankful that there aren't zombies crashing through the door. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff. Happy Thanksgiving. This is Jump to This on Tool Shed Productions.
It's King Slick Beats. If you ain't knowing that you fucking with a rude boy, I'm Mr. Mellow, I can never be a fool, boy. I'm not a rookie, had the time to pay my dues, boy. Flowing like a lead boy, no, I'm not a D-boy. Let's keep it bouncing like a Hooters on the stripper. I can never be a quitter, the goods I do deliver. These fellas claim it's slick, but this nigga slicker. Your honey's looking good, better get it before I stick her. She like the way I spit, she attached like a sticker. Took only 5 minutes just to roll you out the pits. We standing as a unit and we calling the shots. Strategizing on the paper, trying to ball that we try. Gotta heat the hate the trunk, for my haters we fly. It ain't nothing but a party in this biblical style. Trying to set this bitch ablaze. Hundreds like a smacker with peppers like school days. Cooking for the